Hey folks, time for the 30 and 5 here on 560 WIND.com. Check out John and Amy every single morning. Check out the rest of the great lineup right here on this wonderful website. And don't forget to check out north2north.com, NORTH.com. Well, President Obama is going to make another speech on the economy. It's going to come a little bit later on after this taping, if you will. I was just down at a place that I do business with at Tasty Trade, where a gentleman named Tom Sosnoff is independent as anybody I know. He's worth a lot of money. I sat down to do my sports segment, and he said to me, well, are you ready to pay again? I said, yeah. He says, and Tom's pretty liberal guy, and he just shook his head. Well, you know why people are shaking their head? Because they're going to be double taxed, while 47% of this country does not pay 1 penny of income tax. Now, here's what I would do. If I'm President Obama, I tell everybody, we're going to tax the rich a little bit more, but now we're going to hold everybody accountable. You got to have 20% across the board. If you want to have a different tax category for the rich, that's fine. But this thing where 47% of this country, think about that. Almost half the country isn't going to pay, and that means we and you and everybody else might have to pitch in, because it's going to trickle down like it always does, folks. So we'll see what happens. His speech is a little bit later on. I'm going to try to keep an open mind until he probably opens his mouth. Then I won't have it anymore. Also, how about this? If you're the number 51, and I'm talking about age, not Dick Butkus. If you're 51 years old and you were female, it was not a good weekend. Eleanor Mondale, daughter of former vice presidential candidate Walter Mondale, passed away at the age of 51. Eleanor also did some radio work here, working for WGN. Also, at one time, was married, I believe, to Keith Van Horn, former Chicago Bear. She was married 3 times. She was living, I think, in Minnesota. Condolences to her. Cara Kennedy, 51, the oldest daughter of Edward Kennedy, passed away this weekend. She had been working out, and this is why everybody should get a checkup. She's in tremendous shape. She dropped of a heart attack, ladies and gentlemen. So she's gone at 51 years of age also. And Brian Urlacher's mother passed away at 51. Now, I've heard of eerie things, but when 3 women are in the newspaper and they all passed away at the age of 51, it just makes you go, maybe there is something up there that maybe we don't know anything about. So condolences to all those families. This is going to come as a shock to everybody, and I know that my buddy Corey and everybody that has something to do with Halloween is very concerned about this. There's a pumpkin shortage in this country because of Hurricane Irene. They're telling you now to buy the pumpkins as soon as possible. I will have tips on how to keep a pumpkin for over a month and a half without it rotting. As soon as I find out what those tips are, those will be for tomorrow. They want you to start buying now, because there's going to be a pumpkin shortage. Now, I know my wife is probably going to be in a panic, because Halloween is our favorite holiday. It's one of her favorite holidays. In fact, it is her favorite holiday. I like whatever holidays come around, but you know what? She's made me grow to appreciate Halloween. What I'm telling everybody out there is, hey, go get your pumpkins if you're into Halloween, because there may not be any pumpkins as late as the middle of October for the big end of October fiasco and celebration called Halloween. Matt Forte, Chicago Bears, just keeps making more and more money. There's not a better all-purpose backer. Marshall Faulk said this over the weekend. Even though the Bears lost yesterday, he said, they don't talk about running backs as all-purpose. They always talk about the yardage they gain on the ground. Well, yesterday, Matt Forte had over 100 yards total. He had only 10 carries. They only carried the ball a couple times in the second half. Mike Martz forgot that you're supposed to run the football, and if you don't, you may have issues like you had yesterday. That being said, Forte once again had 10 catches. He's the best all-around back maybe in football. The Chicago Bears are losing in the negotiations. I expected to wake up this morning saying, hey, look at this. I tell my wife, they signed Forte to an extension. It would have been perfect. You lose yesterday, but everybody's in a good mood because you sat down with Forte afterwards and said, we're going to throw the kitchen sink at you. Floyd Mayweather, classless individual as he is, punkish as he is. There was a stoppage in the fight because of a headbutt that Ortiz gave him in the fight Saturday night. Then Ortiz decides to go hug him twice, like they're dating. You know, first time was fine. Ortiz looks at the ref. The ref's taking away points from Ortiz. The ref never said, let's come together. He looked back. He went to hug Mayweather again. Mayweather decked him with 2 punches and knocked him out. you got to be ready at all times. They gave the fight to Mayweather, but over half this country, according to the tweets and everything, not that happy with that classless display. Hey, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, baseball is coming around. We will be talking more about baseball, but the Sox and Cubs are out of it. It's rainy here in Chicago right now. Check your listings around the country. You've been listening to 30 and 5 on 560 WIND.com. I'm Mike North. Have a great day. Flood Brothers Disposal and Recycling Services are professional waste haulers. Now, the Flood family is big on service. It's our #1 priority, and we offer extremely competitive pricing because the Flood family is here to help you in this tough economy. Remember, at Flood Brothers, we build relationships, and the only thing we're big on is service. Call us at 773-626-5800 or floodbrothersdisposal.com.